Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us tonight in the Late Nights and Party Chat podcast. I am one of your three lovely hosts, Justice, and I am joined by my two best friends in the whole wide world. My left, Justin. Give us a hello.
E. What's
And
up,
on
guys?
my... Oh, I thought that E was enough. Alright. And on my
no,
right... No, go ahead,
What?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that I wanted to make sure people thought I was here and that they heard my voice.
No, I understand completely. But we left him hanging on long enough. To my right, the lovely, beautiful redhead himself, John. John, give us a hello.
Make me wait that long again, I'll slurp on noodles straight into the mic.
I like where this is going.
Hi, guys.
Anyway,
It makes me
Hi.
think of you slurping on something else,
Ayo.
like fettuccine noodle?
Stop.
Like
My mother
angel
listens
hair?
to this podcast.
like some pop. You know what I mean?
I was thinking more like some soup or some stew, even.
I've never seen someone slurp a stew, but if you can slurp a stew, good for you. There's so much shit in stew. Like I don't eat like. That's why it's not soup. It's like there's too much, not too much, but there's so much stuff in it. Like you can't classify that as a soup.
Y'all
And
are
anyone that
sick.
can slurp a stew is like fucking eulogy.
Y'all are saying this, and I just want to point out that my diet this week has consisted of mainly peanut butter and jelly and beef ramen noodles. So,
I've had to explain to. I just call her my wife now because I think fiance is a dumb term, but whatever. Anyway, I had to explain to my wife like 3 times in the last couple of months that because whenever we go grocery shopping, she's like, we got to get hamburger, we got to get chicken, we got to get stuff to cook, and I'm like, that's all well and good. I like cooking as much as the next person, but I'm gonna be real with you. I can survive strictly on like fucking just sandwiches. Like, get me some lunch meat and some bread. I'm good for like the next month.
Most people can. I just think it's a matter of not having to. I mean, can you survive on it? Yes. But there's gonna be that, once a week, one night a week where you're like, fuck, I could go for like an actual dinner. Like some chicken parm or fucking chili or something.
Well, that's the
something
thing, is,
nice.
like,
should I be eating just bread for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? No.
Probably not.
Have I done that before?
That is so fucking bad for you.
Yeah.
John out here, I'm so fat. Also, John eats bread every fucking day, 3,
That is
4, 5
so
And I'm
times a day.
still gaining weight.
Alright, well,
it's 'cause it makes you fat.
changes in diet and such is not what we're here to talk about today. Today we actually have something that I was thinking about the other day. So no, you can't. No, you can't. Shut the fuck up. No, you can't.
I just wanted to have like an intro and see how everyone was doing and what was going on with everybody.
That was so violent.
I hope
was
everybody
so
knows
mean.
that despite how we talk, we really do all love each other.
We
We're
we
really
care
good
about
friends
each
in
other
real life.
immensely.
Well, I was saying that already.
Started.
We truly do. Yes, no, that is fair. We should ask. It's been a week. How's everybody doing? I really hope things are going for you guys. In the last couple of episodes, we were talking about some more real stuff or maybe some more mundane stuff. And today we're going to talk about something a little bit just, laid back, a bit easy. Probably everybody can relate to. But yes, how's everybody doing? Justin, how's your week been?
I got a new phone and I'm
Got a
super
new
happy
phone.
about it. So like small side story. I've had an iPhone for a long time. You both know this. The entirety that you guys have known me, I've had an iPhone.
Boo.
And I was a really big iPhone stan for a long time.
He's come to
But
the
I don't-
side.
I don't like how Apple operates their payment system. I don't know if I've actually
like how companies operate their payment system.
No, so like I understand that all companies are out to just make money, but like with specifically Apple, I don't like the fact that they don't take money out of my account right away. Like if I go to a gas station, I don't go to the gas station and pay with my card and then the transaction comes out a week later.
Right, I know what you're talking about. That's similar to how Amazon things. Like if I buy something
You're
on
kind of
Amazon,
cutting out, bud. Yeah,
Oh,
I
fuck
don't.
that.
It's been a bit infrequent, but like I
I
just wanted to let you
will
know.
I will hurt many people. No, I won't. No, the Amazon does something similar. If I buy something on Amazon, it doesn't come out until it gets to my house. And I don't like that. I want it to come
That's
out when
weird.
I buy it.
I discovered that
'cause,
PlayStation does that too, actually. Because there have been a couple times I pre-order a game, and for some, or no, was it PlayStation? Well, I pre-ordered something, and it like waited, and they did the full amount like 2 weeks before the game comes out, and I was like, "Why?"
I was gonna say I've never had that happen on PlayStation. PlayStation always charges me right when I buy it.
Yeah.
It definitely did it to me though, and I'm trying to remember what it was for
I
now.
believe you. I haven't seen that myself.
But I had an iPhone 14. I got the 14 when it came out. I didn't really have any problems with it, but this payment shit is what's been bugging me for like the last couple of years. And not only is it the payment shit, and you know it fucks with my budgeting because it's like, oh, I've got $30, I can make it through till payday, and then like that same day, all of my money gets taken by Apple because I forgot that I bought shit. And not only does that happen, but let's say I buy something and I don't have the money in my account, Apple essentially locks you out of the App Store.
That's dumb.
Like, so for a long time, if you had a negative balance through Apple, you couldn't update your apps, you couldn't download new apps. You were essentially fucking soft locked into just using shit as it was until it eventually told you, hey, your app's out of date, you need to update it to use it.
That's stupid.
I remember when I was a kid, and like, you know, kids have jobs on and off, and I had a job for a little while and I bought some shit through Apple, and then I lost my job or I quit my job or whatever. And for like a solid 6 months that I didn't have a job as a teenager, I was locked out of the fucking App Store. I had to make an entirely new Apple account to fucking update and use my shit because I couldn't use my main account.
That's wild.
Yo.
So, because of that, I switched to a Galaxy S24 Ultra. And I've only had it about 3 or 4 days now, but I'm really enjoying it so far, besides having to spend 2 of those days getting all my pictures on my phone.
Android is significantly better.
I feel that it's easier to use, especially with like computers. I can plug my phone into my computer and, you know, move pictures over, fucking move files over, shit like that. It's super easy. My parents have had the 20 and the 23 and the Note 20 and then the S23 because they changed the name of the phones. But
my only issue with Samsung, honestly, or like the Android phone line, is that my entire family is on iPhone, and so like I get videos of my niece and nephews from whether it's from mom or whether it's from my sister, my brother-in-law, whoever. They come in all pixelated, and sometimes it's just really hard to make out what's actually going on.
so I actually know why that happens. Because I did some research, and I you know, TikTok, until it leaves because the bill got passed.
Rip.
TikTok told me why, you know, Android and iPhone people have such a disconnect. It's because we use SMS and MMS for texting and for videos and pictures and shit.
Mm-hmm.
As now Android user, all of us are Android users. So that's what we use. So when we take a picture on our phones, it sends it as an MMS message. When people on iPhone take a picture on their phone, it's not an MMS. It's not an SMS because that iPhone has to be so bougie about their shit and so disconnected from everybody to be like, "Ooh, look at us, we're so cool." That they don't, that's not how their operating system works. They don't use MMS or SMS. They use iMessages and fucking all that shit, and everything's different. So when I take a picture on my phone and send it to like Danny, who has a 14, she, like, it'll probably look pixelated and compressed. It's because when I send the MMS, iPhone on their end compresses the fuck out of the picture to make it, you know, in their format. So for a long time, when you would Snapchat somebody or when you would fucking send a picture to somebody and you were on Android and they were on iPhone, and they were like, oh, "This looks like shit. Why are you sending me this?" It's because when you sent it, it compressed the fuck out of the picture and it makes it look. It's iPhone essentially purposely making the picture look bad to either get one person to leave iPhone and go to Android, or to get somebody else. Well, this is what it really is. It's to get other people that are on Android to move over to iPhone so that they don't have any problems with pictures anymore.
I'm staying where I'm at.
Well, we have been on the phone tangent and slurping other various objects for far too long. We do actually have something we want to cover today. So I want to ask you guys a question.
What's up?
Have you tried a product that you were very excited for? Or, vice versa, you didn't give a shit about it. You expected it to be horrible. And were either A, extremely let down on something you wanted to be great, or B, extremely surprised by something you expected to be poor.
I'm going to come right out of left field with this here real quick. Loofahs.
Loofahs?
What?
Yeah. So...
Oh, I'm so...
What?
Okay,
I'm
explain.
used to... So, like, before... Like, not that long ago, I would just use, like, normal body wash or whatever in the shower. I wouldn't use, like, Bard soap.
Okay.
But we bought Buff Body soap or Buff City soap from Omaha.
Yeah,
and they had, like,
yeah.
those... Yeah. And they had, like, those loofah deals. And I was like, okay, fine, we'll do it just so you know it's, like, it's a his-hers type thing. And then, like, I started using it, and I was like, what difference does this make? Does it really matter? Oh my god, yes it does. I cannot use normal, just, like, gel body wash in the shower anymore. It has to be the bar soap and a loofah.
I haven't, so, like, I get what you're saying. I don't know if it's specifically the loofah, but I know bar soaps, like, especially, like, the Buff City or the Dr. Squatch bar soap, they're naturally processed, and they're made of natural products, so they're a lot better for your skin. I don't know if it's as much the loofah. It could be just because the loofah exfoliates your skin a little bit, but the soap is better on your skin.
Oh.
No,
I'm contributing it to the loofah, but
he definitely caught me off guard.
Well, because, like, I don't use a loofah when I shower. Like, I just, I rub my body with the bar because I use Dr. Squatch, and my skin's improved a lot. I don't get acne as bad. I don't get black. Like, I used to get blackheads on my back all the time.
yeah.
I don't get blackheads on my back anymore. Like, my skin's softer. It feels better. I don't feel, dirty all the time. Like, switching to Dr. Squatch was probably the best decision I've ever made. That's a product that I didn't think was going to be as good as it is.
Well, let me explain why I bring this whole concept up. I am not a fan of sparkling water. I've tried it. Don't like it.
Fucking acid.
Now, I like Starbursts a lot. And recently, Ice Sparkling Water made a promotion with Starburst.
You bought
and they
that?
made various. Let me get on it. They made various different types of sparkling water Starburst flavor, and a coworker of mine brought some in. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, this looks gross. This looks nasty. My father's staring at me right now, wondering why we're recording a podcast and talking about ice sparkling water. Do you have anything to say about ice sparkling water, Dad? You made fresh popcorn. That's fantastic. I'll be right there. Young man.
Tell him I said hi.
Anyway, so I get a bottle of this sparkling water, and I'm looking at it, I'm reading it, and I'm like, this is going to taste terrible. It's sparkling water. It's going to be horrid. I smell it, and I'm like, all right, it smells fine. It's going to taste bad. It tastes just like a Starburst. It's really good. And not to mention 0 sugar, 5 calories, really, really good. I was very surprised. And I went and I got a couple at Walmart by myself. Each bottle, pretty tall, $1, $6. I had 6 bottles, different flavors. I was very surprised. So after finishing drinking one, it got me thinking about it. I'm like, is this something that the other guys can relate to? So that's kind of why I opened up the concept to you guys.
So I'm gonna bring this over to video games because this is something that like I'll never get over. Um, so this is gonna be I thought it was gonna be really good, but it ended up really bad. Anthem. I oh god.
Real fast,
I
before you get into that,
ahead.
I will have to
ahead.
step away for just a brief moment. I will return momentarily.
With
You're fine. With popcorn. But you know about Anthem, right, John?
I know of Anthem, and I know of its very, very short lifespan.
So Anthem, for those that don't know, was supposed to be a 4-player co-op experience where essentially you all piloted, mech suits. But they weren't like, like Gundam giant mech suits. They were like Iron Man suits. And it was supposed to be a looter shooter, it was supposed to be a lot of things. And I pre-ordered that game. I pre-ordered the deluxe edition of that game. I spent $80 getting that game just for it to come out. And when it first came out, you couldn't connect to anybody, and if you did connect to somebody, it was for maybe 5-10 minutes. You could do 1 or 2 missions maybe, and then you'd get kicked, or it would get really laggy and you'd disconnect. But then they fixed that. And then it was, you'd play the story, you'd play with your friends, and the loot drops, the rate at which like the loot drops would happen was so fucking low. Like I spent most of that game probably playing with fucking blue gear. And then when you got into the harder stuff, you were severely undergeared to do anything because the loot drops were so abysmal. Then they fixed the loot rate.
I am back.
And just shit kept happening. Shit kept piling on and piling on and piling on. There were so many problems with this game. And then you beat the story, and then it's like, okay, well, you're gonna get the ability to redo the same 6 missions that you've been doing the entire game, but now for better loot.
Are we still talking about Anthem?
Yeah.
All right, so I actually do have a personal story with this one. Not for myself necessarily. My dad was very, very excited for Anthem. I mean, he was watching the promotional material. He was keeping up on news posts. He was super excited. Dude had the game about 3 days. Then he walks up to me and he goes, I don't think I've ever been more disappointed in a release for a game in my...
You're cutting out really bad now.
Come on, dude. Super pissed. He was very, very let down with the game. And it was something he was extremely excited.
Yeah.
So, I get that one.
I felt the same way recently with a game.
Oh, what game came out recently that you were underwhelmed by?
South Park Snow Day.
Oh my, I've heard so many bad things about South Park Snow Day.
Most of them, if not all of them, are probably true. Like, it's such a... Like, coming off of the 2 other games, it's literally... And it's because it's a different studio, but they had such great, like, foundation groundwork to use. And then they just shit on all of it. Like, the idea of, like, a roguelike, that's fun, that's cool. And, like, I feel like the gameplay itself, experiencing it for, like, the first time through, is fun. But there are only 5 missions in the game. You can only redo those 5 missions. Each of those missions is at least 20 to 30 minutes in playtime minimum.
That's kind of trash.
And it's just like... I was so excited. I was like, cool,
Well,
multiplayer South Park game I can play with my buddies.
I've never been huge on South Park as a whole. Like, it is funny, and I've seen a few episodes of it. I do enjoy it. But, like, I know when they were doing, like, the Stick of Truth or the Fractured Butthole, like, those were... Like, I've seen clips of them, and they were funny. They did make me laugh. But I know I was never crazy about those games, so hearing that it did turn out bad, like it doesn't affect me as much, but it is kind of surprising because I know the other two did do really good.
Well, and I think the big thing that really did it in was the fact, like I said, they changed studios. It's not the same studio making this one that made the other two, but this one is sitting in the same universe as the other two.
I'm
Well, and
glad
that's the
you bring
problem
that
with a
up.
lot of games is like switching studios is make or break for a game essentially.
I'm glad you say that because that leads me to one that I want to say recently. I love Die Hard, the Final Fantasy series. Now, I did enjoy the game, but I was let down by Final Fantasy 16. And I'll explain why. It was a good game. It felt nice, the story was nice, the voice acting was good, the gameplay was good. Where I was let down is I don't think it was a good Final Fantasy game. I think it was just a good game. And a big portion of my issue with that is the fact that the development team drastically switched. And a large number of the team that worked on the DMC games are the team that worked on Final Fantasy 16. Now again, I did play and enjoy the game. It just wasn't what I wanted from a Final Fantasy game.
I need to go back.
I remember
and
you
beat
saying that.
16 because I feel like, to me, having a switch up from your typical, like what you see in the Final Fantasy 7 remakes or Final Fantasy 15, like they're different, but you can still see where like all that similarity is at. Whereas
Right.
having a complete mix up in the system that 16 was, even like, yes, it's obviously Devil May Cry, but seeing that in a Final Fantasy setting, to me, makes me like it even more personally. I just wish
Which
there
is
was more like party involvement, which I'm not that far in the game, but like I
Which-
feel like the party doesn't play a whole lot, and it does feel a bit more like a solo game than I would expect or enjoy from a Final Fantasy game.
I'm going to go ahead and spoil something for you. Unfortunately, no. The whole game is like that. You play as Clive and only Clive. And the fact that they did that is a huge change. There hasn't been a Final Fantasy game before where you only played as one specific character. Now, I'm not counting the MMO because, I mean, it's an MMO. You're only going to play as the class you make or whatever.
What about
But-
Crisis Core?
Okay, so Crisis Core I feel is a bit different because it was specifically centered, and that's not a mainline game. That's not a mainline title, so that one doesn't really count either. Because you look at Lightning Returns, or that's only Lightning. But a mainline Final Fantasy game, this is the first one where they've ever done that. And they do have a party, but you can't do anything with them. You can't customize them. You can change Torgal around a little, but you can't customize most of them. You can't change their attacks. You can't change their gear. They are who they are, period. And it is a drastic change. Because even in 15, while you mostly played as Noctis, the availability to change the gear of the other three and even play as them a little bit was still there. And then even in the 7 remake, every character's fleshed out and really well done. And that sucked for me going into that because I like Clive. Great character, plays well, feels nice. But I wasn't allowed to play as a mage. I wasn't allowed to play as a healer. I wasn't allowed to play as anything. I had to play as a warrior with a little bit of magic capabilities. Essentially a Black Knight. I wasn't given that choice. Whereas even in 15, if I wanted to play Noctis as mostly a dragoon, or mostly a mage, or mostly a warrior, or mostly a healer, I had those options. A little dumbed down, but still. And that's a big change they made.
I still plan to go through and beat it and platinum it.
You should. You should. It is a great game. It's just like I said, from a Final Fantasy perspective, it's not what I wanted.
Well, like, I think that the main thing is like, it's hard to fucking. It's hard to, like I said, it's hard for people to switch developers, and it's hard for people to switch teams. I've seen plenty of games where it's like, we rebuilt our entire team from the ground up, and it's like, okay, cool, you know,
See, that was a
but
problem.
the game's not the same. Sorry, go ahead.
No.
You're good. You're good. And that's another point with like Pokemon had backlash with that recently, where I shouldn't say recently. It's been like 4 years now, 4 or 5. But
Recently for you,
they had a remake for Diamond and Pearl, which were our fan favorite like games when they came out. They are some people's definitive. This is what Pokemon should be. And so when the remakes were coming out, everyone was so excited because they were like, yeah, we're going back. We're going to get quality of life updates. Everything's going to be great. But it wasn't Game Freak doing the remake, which is the studio that makes and handles a lot of the Pokemon stuff.
mm-hmm.
And the problem is that they shipped it out to a studio who took the idea of a remake, but they didn't remake it, they remastered it. And so the problem is that like a lot of the issues that like Diamond and Pearl had, where like here are all these really cool like newly introduced Pokemon, you cannot get them in the main game. You have to beat the game in the post game story before you can maybe work on getting the item to evolve into them. And like they had the definitive version Platinum that came out not long after the original Diamond and Pearl, which fixed all of that immediately. So that's where a lot of people were thinking that, oh, well, they're going to put the Platinum quality of life updates, but it's going to be a story similar to Diamond and Pearls. And that's just not what we got. And everyone is now concerned about any remakes that they decide to do moving forward, because what stops them from doing that again?
And that, yeah, it just kind of sucks to. It just kind of sucks to see that, like, see that a game that you have loved and cherished for so long is not what was promised.
Well, I think on the other hand, and I'll try to play a little bit of devil's advocate here, is sometimes, okay, so let's say we have an IP that we like I like Sly Cooper. Now let's say they make another Sly Cooper game today. It's been over 10 years since the last Sly Cooper game. If they dropped another one today and it was very different, sometimes what people need to come to terms with is things change. And we have to accept that what we enjoyed and what we liked about a certain game when it came out might not be the same when it's, remade, remastered, it's done anew, it's brought back. Just like, for example, with the Final Fantasy VII remake, a lot of people who really enjoyed the original have some problems with the remake because there's big changes. There's a lot of stuff that isn't the same. Some of the story beats are different. Now me, I like that. I can accept those changes. I like them. I think they're cool. But, at the same time with something like Kingdom Hearts, I really enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 2. I did not like Kingdom Hearts 3 as much because some of the fundamental changes they made. Now, they grew on me as I come to accept and, learn how to work with them. But I think sometimes people do just need to understand, like, those are big-ass companies working on your favorite games. Things are going to change. Different people are doing the work differently. And they're not always going to be the same.
Well, that's like with not Final Fantasy, but with Kingdom. They started off as the same game, Kingdom Hearts. With Kingdom Hearts 4 that's coming out, from what I understand about Kingdom Hearts and what they've said about the new game, it's supposed to be like drastically different than even 3 was.
For Kingdom Hearts, though, I think it's at an acceptable crossroads right now where it can mix up the formula a bunch and be fine, because 3 was the end of the story that they've been telling for the last 10
20
plus
years,
from Kingdom Hearts 1 to Kingdom Hearts 3, and every side game in between has all led up to that climactic, the final encounter in 3. 4 is starting a new storyline, where I feel like starting a new storyline in this new saga is the opportunity that you'd want to be like, all right, we're going to mix it up, and now Kingdom Hearts is going to play like for example, it's going to play like Devil May Cry combat, let's say.
So this is what we think is happening. So Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and the various other ones that came as side games with 2 had Final Fantasy characters in it. And you'll notice in 3, there was none. There was not a single Final Fantasy character in 3.
There wasn't a single Disney either, was there?
In 3?
Oh, in 3. Sorry, I was thinking in the 4 trailer. My bad.
No. In 4, we're thinking that Kingdom Hearts is going to start pulling away from Disney a little bit. And we don't know because we have no proof of that. But what we've seen in the trailer...
Start moving into like the live action stuff, maybe having some MCU, because like we've all seen the trailer for the new Kingdom Hearts game, or at least the gameplay that they showed us 2-3 years ago at this point.
Dude, ain't it crazy how he interrupted the hell out of me like that? That's wild.
I'm sorry.
That's so crazy.
Go ahead.
No, but what we saw in the trailer, if you look at the trailer of any of the other Kingdom Hearts games, it showed at least a world or two, and it showed other Disney characters. In the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, the only Disney characters they showed were Donald and Goofy. Everything else they showed had zero Disney about it.
Well, I think that like that was the point I was trying to get to, was like maybe they're trying to switch more to the live action stuff and more of a Final Fantasy-esque design. I won't say art style because it's more mocap than anything, but maybe they're trying to incorporate, the MCU and some of the live action stuff that's happened.
As cool as that would be, me being a fan of Kingdom Hearts, I don't want that. I don't want MCU. I don't want Star Wars. The whole thing with Kingdom Hearts for me has been, the fantasy, the Disney, Beauty and the Beast, fucking Cinderella, those type of things. That's what
Halloween Town is still a lot of people's favorite.
Halloween Town. Those are the things that have been Kingdom Hearts to me. That's what I see. I even thought Toy Story was a bit of a jump, but it worked. It made sense. But
then you remember that we had 2 Tron worlds between Kingdom Hearts 2 and Dream Drop Distance.
And guess what my least favorite world in the entire series is? Tron.
Lion King.
Tron.
I
hated the Tron.
really want to go back and play Kingdom Hearts 3 just to get to the Frozen world, because I never actually got past, I think, Monsters, Inc.
It was a good game. I still think 2 is the best one.
I remember beating 3, doing a lot of the post-game stuff, and then deciding I was going to do a level 1 critical mode playthrough using only the Kingdom Key. And I got a good chunk of the way through Hercules and then stopped playing because there were other games coming out.
Yeah.
It just seems to be a problem with us for a lot recently, is like, hey, Justice, get Tekken so we can play Tekken. Oh, wait, Mortal Kombat just came out. Oh, wait, Dragon's Dogma just came out. Oh, wait, Stellar Blade is coming out. Oh, wait.
I don't know, man. I play the shit out of Tekken still.
Let's go back and play fucking Dragon Ball FighterZ. Let's go back and play fucking Tiny Tina's Wonderland,
I'm going to platinum Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh, but Dragon Dogmas just came out. Now I might platinum this game. Oh, yeah, but I'm really now feeling a Fallout mood. Maybe I'll go play Fallout 4.
Oh, wait, I just remembered about that Dark Souls 2 playthrough that I started 7 years ago that I've never beaten.
Yeah, all I want to say, speaking of Tekken, Ryan is still ducking me.
What do you mean?
Because he knows that you're going to win and he doesn't want to experience that.
Still ducking me.
Well, fuck, dude. You made him quit playing fighting games for like 3 months solid.
Okay, let's explain that. He gets in... So, a friend of ours, his name is Ryan. And Ryan, if you're listening, we love you. But Ryan has a habit of getting in a competitive video game, losing, and then getting angry. And sometimes claiming some things that seem a little silly. I've heard the word he's cheating more times than I've heard it in a CSGO lobby. And we were playing, what was it, Street Fighter?
It was Mortal Kombat 1.
Alright, we were playing Mortal Kombat. I'm good at fighting games. Ryan's not bad, but he's not where I'm at. And he uninstalled the game after a couple matches and claimed, "Yeah, I'm just done playing fighting games for probably forever." And then Tekken came out. Now he's back.
To be fair, that's not the first time we've made someone who was a quote unquote friend quit fighting games.
That time wasn't our fault.
I'm just saying, you guys don't have to hear him yell and slam things nightly when he rages.
All I'm saying, John, is if you were in Omaha with me, it'd be very quiet.
Yeah, but who am I going to get an apartment with?
Me. I'll kill you.
But I don't know, something that like I don't think is gonna be good, but I hope it's good. Is to go back to like products, and this is really specific for I think just me at the moment. I get really bad at earwax. Like it's a problem. I don't know how to curb it. But
You kind of don't.
fucking the earwax tool with the camera where you can like go in and kind of clean out your ears.
Oh, those are my favorite videos.
Aren't those already out?
They are. No, they're already out. It's just it's a product that I don't think is gonna. I truthfully don't know how much it's gonna help, and I don't think it's gonna help any. But I'm willing to give it a try. I don't know how good it'll be for me, but
We have one.
you have one.
Yeah,
not gonna
Mom
take
had
yours.
one. I'm not giving it to you, no. Mom
Good.
had one, and she used it, and I mean, I didn't hear much about it, but it seemed like she was relatively pleased with it.
Because like I've seen them on TikTok a lot, and it's like, oh, buy it on the TikTok shop for less than a McDonald's hamburger, and it's like, yeah, cool. I don't want to get a janky ass product that's barely gonna work for 2 days and then stop working and never fucking turn back on. But they sell them at Walmart, and those are like $30, and I'm like, okay, this one might be a little bit more long lasting.
You should get one on the TikTok store and one from Walmart and compare them.
Compare them, do some comparing videos.
Next week episode.
DIY.
just saying.
There you go.
But
He's right.
The unboxing video you can't see.
Exactly.
so here's one that I'm hoping is really good. And I played the demo for this one, and I'm hoping, I'm crossing my fingers that it's really good.
Oh my god, here we go.
Shut up. Shut your whore mouth.
I support you, just not necessarily on
Don't
this
slander
one.
anime titties Dark Souls ever again. For those of you that don't know what anime titties Dark Souls is Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade comes out on Thursday, I think. Let me go check. I'm literally staring at my PlayStation home screen right now.
Yeah, so anyway, completely different conversation because no one cares.
I think I'm gonna go make some
I
mac
care.
and cheese after we're done here.
I hate all of you. I was making chicken nuggets while I was doing
Maybe
this.
slurp on some Febreze.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
You make me hurt. 'Cause- yeah. So Thursday Stellar Blade comes out, and I played the demo. I really liked the demo. I'm hoping the game's really good. I got the deluxe edition. It was like $80. I hope it's really good. I'm looking forward to it. When I get off Thursday, I'm not talking to anybody. I'm getting on Stellar Blade and I'm playing.
He's going to do the same thing I did when the Rebirth came out. Just disappear for 3 days.
So,
Yeah.
I am afraid for Stellar Blade in the similar way that I'm kind of afraid that I feel about Hogwarts Legacy, I guess is the way to word it, because Hogwarts Legacy came out and I was super excited for the game, and then I played it and it was great and I had fun. But it was kind of like that new game honeymoon phase, you know?
Right.
Where now when I look at it, I platinum the game, I beat the game, and I more than got my time out of it. So if I never download it again, I'm fine. My fear for Stellar Blade is that that's exactly what's going to happen with it, is that all these people are hyping up Stellar Blade like it's going to be great, and then the honeymoon phase is going to end, and people are going to realize that, oh, the only real reason people wanted this game is because of the big-tittied anime woman on the cover.
That's
And
a
I'm a
risk
de-
I feel like he's willing to take.
I'm a degenerate, and that is a risk I'm willing to take.
A whisk.
A whisk I am willing to bake.
What?
Listen, you're talking to the man who has literal anime titties on his PS5.
This is true. Justin is a horrible person.
You don't think that I'm gonna get the most out of this game just because big titty anime woman?
I think you're going to download it, you're going to play it for a while.
It's already downloaded to my console.
Have you ever beat a Dark Souls game?
I've gotten I don't know
Solo. Have you ever beaten a Dark Souls game?
Not Dark Souls, but I say Souls like. I'm pretty sure I beat Code Vein.
Pretty sure?
I'm not. It's been a long time since I've played Code Vein, and I don't remember where I got.
How do you not know?
I'm pretty sure I beat Code Vein.
Respectfully, Justin, that right there tells me everything that I need to know in the most loving way I can possibly mean that.
But that's different because there's anime titties in Code Vein, but it's like watching like an ecchi anime that kind of has fan service versus watching High School DxD.
You're literally only getting the game so you can get your rocks off and play a video game at the same time.
I'm waiting. They're going to have a one-handed combat
do you
mode somewhere in the
I own
accessibility settings.
Sakura Succubus 1 through 3?
Alright, and moving on.
I'm just saying that game is probably going to have a one-handed combat mode.
If it does, all the better.
Anyway,
Even if it doesn't, he'd figure it out.
But unironically, I am looking forward to the game. It looks very good. I played the demo. The combat feels really good. I'm on the subreddit, so I've seen people that are talking about like the skill trees and how in depth the game is. Someone's popping really bad.
Sorry, I popped a knuckle.
No, it was like a consistent, like a tapping almost.
Oh, that one I have no idea.
But all jokes aside, besides big anime titties, the game looks really good. And that's really what I'm looking forward to, is having a game that's a Souls-like game that I can get into, because unfortunately Dark Souls and I and all the Soulsborne games, including Elden Ring, we don't get along very well. So having something that's in the same vein that I can play, I can enjoy, and doesn't drive me up the fucking wall like playing Dark Souls does will be fun.
I have another one, and this is one we did recently together. I've never really got much into like Godzilla or King Kong, and without giving spoilers, we watched the new King Kong Godzilla movie. I'm unfamiliar with what the actual name of it is.
It's like Godzilla X Kong: A New Kingdom or something.
Right, something like that. It was great. No, it was super good.
Oh yes.
It was really good, and I didn't have very high hopes. I was honestly just going to the movie to hang out and be with my boy. And then it turned out to be a very solid
boyfriend.
Movie. I said my boys. Where did the word friend come out?
It
cut out
as you said,
for a suspiciously long amount of time.
Yeah, it
What
said
the fuck?
boy,
You could've
and then
said
you cut
anything.
out. You could have, yeah, really.
Yeah, my boy toys. But no, it was a super good movie. It was very good. I was really surprised. I've never been huge.
Were really good.
Yeah, the parts that you were awake for, I bet. He passed out during the movie. It was really funny.
I didn't
The amount
mean
of times I had to elbow this man or throw popcorn at his face is too much.
I had been up for over 24 hours. I
Slap him
will
in the
not
face with your
apologize.
dong.
I will not apologize.
No excuses.
No excuses. But no,
So
it was
anyways.
really good.
No,
No,
sure.
anyways, John, go ahead. Take over.
Transition.
Take over. Be a man, John. Take over.
Oh, be a man, be a man. You know what? I love the Fallout TV show. I thought I had so much hope in my heart for it to be good. I was really afraid, though. The reality was it was going to be absolute booty butt cheeks bootios.
Bootios.
And it was
like most video game
genuinely
adaptations besides Last of Us.
the 3 episodes I've seen, because I don't have Prime Video. Hey, I need to talk to one of you guys after this, by the way. Some of the peakest like cinema I think I've ever seen. It is spectacular.
I agree. It's very good. I've heard nothing but good reviews. I've never watched it, but that you know I'm gonna throw in a curveball here. What's something that you thought was gonna be really good, and then it was really good, and it exceeded your expectations?
Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Something that I thought was gonna be good and was good so much that it blew me out of the water.
Yeah.
Did I get cut out?
No, you said Final Fantasy Rebirth, and no one
Oh,
responded.
okay.
Go.
Okay, yeah, no,
talk
cool, yeah.
about that. Talk about that. I'm gonna need a minute on this one.
No, that's fine. Yeah, no, you can fuck yourself.
Cloud sucks.
All right, no. Actually, I got a better one. The Dragon Ball superhero movie. A lot of people weren't excited about the graphical changes of the movie from like the Broly movie or the Beerus movie going into kind of a more 3DS aspect with superhero. I thought it was fucking phenomenal. I thought the angling was great.
Scenes were really good.
The action scenes were good. I mean, it's Dragon Ball. It's not going to have the most amazing storytelling in the world. They do have their really good moments, but a lot of those have already happened. Now, it's getting harder to make a really super impactful story beat moment. But nah, man, I thought it looked great. I thought they did a super awesome job with the movie. And
Man,
I even convinced Junior to watch it, and Junior was one who said he didn't think it looked good. He watched it and he was like, I was wrong.
So I don't know what you're talking about. The Dragon Ball doesn't have anything impactful. I mean,
Are those the words that I said?
just wait until Goku has another transformation. It'll be impactful for like 2 weeks, and then everyone will get over it, like they did Ultra Instinct.
A lot of people still think Ultra Instinct is a huge deal. So that's also not correct.
It is, but
You don't know much about Dragon Ball. Shut up.
Haven't they said that unless Goku essentially like becomes emotionless, he'll never be able to fully use it?
No, not at all. Goku
I
has
thought
to
that-
make Ultra Instinct his own thing is the deal. He's
Is
able to
okay.
use his emotions while Ultra Instinct is active. The whole issue is that he has to use his own version of Ultra Instinct or develop his own version. No, he can be emotional. It's
I
just
thought
at
the whole
first he
thing-
couldn't.
I thought the whole thing was that, like we said, like that Ultra Instinct normally is like you're completely devoid of any attachments and any emotions.
No,
Initially,
I
that was
believe-
the thing.
Sorry, go
But
ahead.
as time goes on, sorry, John, I'm taking over here. You know this is important to me. Initially, for him to unlock it, that was the ordeal. That was what the goal was you have to be devoid of thought and motion and just be there. It's pure instinct. But as time goes on, after he already had unlocked it, it was less about being emotionless and more about him making it his own thing, his own technique.
Okay. Like I know I say a bunch of stuff about Dragon Ball, and I know sometimes it does genuinely kind of upset you that I just say shit. I don't
You
ever
do.
mean it. I don't ever mean it like I'm right, you're wrong. Ha ha ha. Fuck you. Like I'm genuinely curious because Dragon Ball is one of those things where it's like
A lot of people don't know.
we all grew up with Dragon Ball. Like I all of us have probably had the memory of waking up at fucking 2 a.m. and Goku screaming as he transforms into fucking Super Saiyan for the first time because it. What?
Well, no, you're right. You're right. There's the people that like Dragon Ball, and then there's the people that know Dragon Ball. Because you can
Right.
know all the forms, you can know the names of the heroes, you can know that stuff. But then there's knowing how they got there. There's knowing the name of the side heroes. There's knowing all the little intricate bullshit. And that's the stuff that the people who just casually enjoy it don't know.
Listen, Krillin Solo's One Punch Man confirmed by Seth the programmer.
That's a whole different thing. I'm not a huge fan of him, but that's for separate reasons.
I genuinely don't have an answer to your question. I've been sitting here this whole time trying to think of something, and I don't remember the last time I got something that I was already expecting to be good that blew me out of the water.
Well, I mean, you already answered that kind of with the Fallout show, because you thought
like
you were hoping it was
Hogwarts.
good, and then it was good.
Fair
No, like,
enough.
with me, that was like, I don't know. Let me actually. I'm gonna give me a second. You two keep talking. I'm gonna look through my PlayStation library.
Okay.
So John recently started a playthrough of Final Fantasy Remake Part 1, and he's working on getting the platinum for it. And golly, he's having a struggle bus, and I can't be more happy about it.
You know, I've gotten an answer. It took me 5 seconds. It's pretty
Justice just
basic
wants
because
me to cry. More.
no, Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 was that game for me. It was that thing for me.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Like Spider-Man 2, like I knew Spider-Man 2 was going to be good, and then every major story beat, it was like, "Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god."
It was very good.
It exceeded every expectation I had.
It was very good.
It's
I
not
agree.
that it exceeded my expectations, but I love it when I play a game that I genuinely have like visceral emotional reactions to. Like when I was playing Spider-Man 2, and like just like you, I was like, I hit it like an emotion, like a story beat, and I'm like, well, what do they do from here? Or literally the entire time
Right.
that like Peter, spoiler alert, that Peter had the symbiote suit, and you like watched his mental decline. I was like, Pete, you good?
You okay?
It's like,
Peter,
hey,
I
bro.
think you just
Hey,
killed
bro.
that man.
Hey, bro. Slow your roll.
Well, like, and spoilers again. I just put a spoiler warning over this whole thing with us talking about Spider-Man 2. When Mary Jane got the symbiote and like turned into fucking, I think it's Scream. Her name
Scream.
is.
Scream.
God, dude, I was not expecting that, and when they did it, it was like, oh my! Not only did you make a major fucking call out to the symbiotes, but like holy shit, it's Mary Jane. And then the thing with like Venom and him having the bat wings. For those of you that don't know the comics, that happening the way it did in Spider-Man 2 is not how it happened in the comics. And like them calling out Null and having like, oh my dude, it was so cool. And
I do think there was a large bit of fan service there.
there was a very large amount of fan service with this, with specifically the symbiotes, and like, dude,
Well, I feel like this
it
is such a good
blew
thing
me away.
for like superhero games in general, is that like Spider-Man, while having been popular because of stuff like the MCU or the Venom movies, like or like even with DC, I feel like we're in such a good time period for potential like amazing superhero video games to come out. Not you, Suicide Squad.
Gotta shut your whore mouth.
But like a
Damn.
lot of people are gonna like be
It's a good
looking
game.
into getting them. That if you have a scenario like the Insomniac Spider-Man games where they're doing their own continuity, but you still see all this stuff from the comics, like introducing what's your name? Is Silk at the end of Spider-Man 2?
Yeah, Silk at the end of
Like-
Spider-Man 2. Like, oh my god, dude, I was so blown away, and having like Spider-Man 3 potentially having 3 spider people for us to play as. Holy crap, dude. And the Green Goblin.
And there
like,
was the canceled multiplayer Insomniac Spider-Man game that I really hope
Yeah.
they make up for in some way. But
well, and like, it's crazy to see how like you get Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man, and it blew everyone away. And then as soon as you get like, as soon as that happened, and that was such a big success, Insomniac was like, okay, not only do we have Spider-Man 2 coming out, we're also having a Venom game come out. We're also having an Avengers game come out that's going to be multiplayer. And that might not be Insomniac. I think it's Insomniac. I could be wrong on that. But I do know, and then the Wolverine game. Like, right
Are you
after
talking about the
Spider-Man.
Avengers game that already came out?
No, there's supposed to be another one coming out that's, I'm pretty sure it's Insomniac that's doing it.
I'd be interested in that. Well, regardless, it is about time we wrap this up, folks. We did cover a lot of ups, downs, surprises, letdowns today. And let us know if there's anything that you were excited for and let you down or actually pleased you, or something you thought was going to be trash garbage and really exceeded your expectations or really was trash garbage. But my name is Justice. I am one of your lovely hosts here on the Late Nights and Party Chat podcast. And of course, I am joined by my two best friends and co-hosts in the whole world. To my right is John.
Everybody have a good night.
And to my left, of course, Justin.
Don't snort Febreze, people.
Snort exclusively Febreze, people.
Exclusively.
Don't snort Febreze, please.
For legal reasons, that was a joke.
Moral
good night,
reasons,
everybody.
that's a joke.
Have a good night, y'all.
Good night.